Bumblebees love my motivational posters. The remote control for my Sniffer 3000. Too bad about the teething problems. Still, this might come in handy. Flowers. The perfect meal for a hungry hive. Nothing like an inspirational poster to boost worker productivity. For some reason, my boys aren't terribly fond of this one. The magnetronic pollinator is the linchpin of the operation. My workers get their rations mechanically. No foraging in flower beds for them. Bon appetit. Oh! Not exactly a flood, is it? Flowers, Gromit. That's the weak link in our production chain. We need more flowers. Any more honey to speak of? Not enough flowers to tip the balance yet. Not to worry, I've got a few ideas. Keeping busy, lads. Yikes! There's the hatch from me rocket ship. Remember that moon holiday, Gromit? My workers are very devoted to their queen. Doesn't suit my immediate purpose. Place could use a good spring cleaning. Now where can I find a whole lot of flowers in a hurry? So that's where the dog tags went. I'm sure Gromit will be glad to get them back. Last night's bedtime snack. Gorgonzola makes a nice change from Wensleydale. Phew, that'll put me right to sleep. Oh? Trap door. Oh. I'll leave that where it is. A nice cup of strongium tea ought to spark up the old grey matter. Hey, bring that back, you thieving rascal! Our last bag of strongium tea, gone! Cold toast. Shame to let it go to waste. It's got squirrel tracks in it. That pesky rodent must have been at me toast again. He certainly is crackers for toast. I wonder what happened to his little cricket bat. Watering makes flowers grow faster.
Though it works best if you've planted some first.
No flowers in here. Been doing a spot of gardening, have you, Miss Flit?
Working my green fingers to the bone. But the hard work appears to be paying off.
Indeed it does.
Blooms everywhere. I call it my purple paradise.
It certainly looks delicious. I mean, I imagine it would look delicious if you were an insect.
You mean if I were a bee?
Well, now you mention it.
You want to feed my flowers to your bees?
That is, if you don't mind.
How many would you like?
As many as you can spare.
Oh, you can have all you want, Mr. Wallace.
Oh, much obliged, Miss Flit.
Here, you can jolly well grow your own.
Right-ho. That flower hasn't bloomed yet.
I know it hasn't, the lazy thing. Oh, but the wait will be worth it.
Oh,
This flower will be the pièce de résistance of my purple paradise. And the scent, absolutement heavenly. I'm simply mad about the purple pansy.
I say, those roses look appetizing. If you're a bee.
I'm sure they do. And they smell heavenly. But they're not here to be trampled over by your buzzing bees. Have you noticed? I put a new roof on Mr. Nutter's house.
Mr. Nutter?
Surely you're acquainted with our neighbour, Mr. Nutter, the squirrel.
I'm not on first name terms with any of the neighborhood animals, I'm afraid.
What about Gromit?
Oh, no, he isn't either. What's that? That looks like the flyer I picked up in the hall. Why would Gromit throw away an important piece of correspondence like that?
Beautiful morning, Mr. Wallace. I'm pleased to see you've emerged from your subterranean lair.
Oi, come back here, you thieving rascal. That's my tea bag.
I won't have you threatening that dear little creature. Not while he's in my garden.
Here you are, little fella. Try some toast.
Yes, do feed him. I'm sure the little mite's hungry. What are you looking for exactly?
I wonder, Miss Flit, if you would be so kind as to, hand me that tea bag.
Tea bag, Mr. Wallace? What tea bag?
The one on your, ooh.
Are you feeling quite well, Mr. Wallace?
They say that the blooms lower down on the plant give off a sweeter scent.
Is that so?
Yes. You'll discover if you lean way down
The
that...
topmost blooms are perfectly adequate to my needs, thank you. There now. With hard work and a little luck, you should have a nice bed of flowers in 2 or 3 months.
I can't wait 2 or 3 months. I've got a deadline. This evening.
Oh, you poor simple man. Nothing grows that quickly.
I wonder. Rex Armstrong's Quick Grow Muscle Formula. Watch them sprout in seconds. If it works on people, perhaps I could adapt it to work on flowers. 3 miracle ingredients: Grotein, Energize, Strongium. Well, I need a miracle, and fast. Shouldn't be too tricky to knock up a batch myself. Then we'll see who's got the grandest garden in West Wallaby Street. The hive will be humming in no time.
Caught you! Can't take an old soldier by surprise.
Morning, Major Crumb.
It is, if you don't mind enemy invasions.
I beg your pardon.
Didn't you get my message? Received intelligence of a major air assault. Expect the sirens to sound any minute. Hope you know where your nearest air raid shelter is.
I do recall something about that, but Major Crumb, are you sure you're not mistaken?
I know. I've made predictions before, but I'm not crying wolf. This time, I've got proof.
A jar?
It's what's inside the jar that counts. Incontrovertible evidence that the enemy is on the move.
Does it? I can only see a snail.
Of course it's a snail. But what's she trying to tell us? That's the important thing.
What is she trying to tell us?
Look at her, man. She's retreated into her shell in the middle of the day. And that means only one thing. It means she knows trouble is about to strike from the heavens. Law of nature, Wallace. Learned it in France during the war. Never wrong yet. Good man, Wallace. I see you at least appreciate the seriousness of the situation. Now, spread the word. If people don't believe what an old soldier has to say, perhaps they'll listen to the snail. Have you delivered the message? Have you shown them the snail?
I'm not sure the snail will convince them, Major Crumb.
If she doesn't, the air raid siren will. But by then, it may be too late. You're looking at my case, aren't you, Wallace?
Well, I suppose I was, Major.
Bet you'd like to know what's inside.
I am curious, yes.
Ha! This case is packed full of government-issue Grotein bars.
Protein.
Rations, Wallace. Emergency rations for... emergencies, obviously. Been stockpiling them since the war. Enough nutrition in them to feed a man under fire for a whole day.
And very tasty they look, too.
Tasty? They're foul, but packed with high-strength Grotein.
I'd love to try one.
Out of the question, I'm afraid. You don't have clearance. And besides, Grotein bars are only issued in the event of civil emergencies. Orders are orders, Wallace.
Ah, Mr. Wallace! Mr. Wallace, I've got something for you.
Much obliged. That looks like... Can it really be cheese?
Indeed it is, Wallace. Wensleydale, your favourite?
And am I to take it that these are...
Yes, free samples. Go on, tuck in.
Don't mind if I do, Mr. Paneer. One for now, and one for later.
Have you come to deliver my order?
It's not quite ready yet, I'm afraid.
You're not going to disappoint me. Not after yesterday's little incident.
Oh, no. you can count on from me to you.
Don't forget, Mr. Wallace, 50 gallons by sunset.
Ah. That won't help. Now that's a fine-looking postbox. It would make a good chassis for my honey-powered vacuumatic, but that's tomorrow's project.
Hey, young Wallace, love. How's business?
I'll leave that be.
Ta-ra! Bye then!
Mr. Gabberley!
Gone away! Went to Timbuktu! Won't be back until spring!
So, Wallace, in the honey business now, I hear.
Oh, you've heard the buzz, have you?
Oh, indeed I have. It's all over town.
It'll never get off the ground! Stupid idea, if you ask me!
And nobody did!
Couldn't get honey out of a honey jar, that one!
Excuse my husband. He's a right misery gut sometimes.
Uh-oh.
Hey, it's not closing time yet.
Well, what were those 3 miracle ingredients again? Ah, yes. Groting, Energides, and Strongium. I used the last of me Energides the other day to fuel up my Sniffer 3000. Could those be? I couldn't help but notice the flowers on your window ledge, Mrs. Gabberley.
Aye, lovely, aren't they? Bring a touch of summer to the town square. Especially the purple pansies. Always been partial to pansies, me. You should see the flat. It's full of them.
They're blinking weeds, if you ask me! Can't abide them!
Oh, go and suck a lemon, you moaning ninny.
Ah!
Oh, now look what you've done, you clumsy oaf. And open up that window when I'm yelling at you.
All right, but only to prove your insults don't get to me anymore. I can deflect them all.
Is that so?
I'd be happy to take these flowers off your hands, Mrs. Gabberley. That is, if they make your husband unhappy.
That's a good reason to keep 'em, to my way of thinking. But go ahead if you want 'em.
Much obliged. Purple pansies. Pardon me, Mrs. Gabberley. I wonder, that is, could you spare a...
Verb.
Sorry?
Give me a verb, Wallace. An action word.
Oh, playing a word game, are we?
In a manner of speaking.
Oh, well, let's see. A verb. There's melt.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good one. Now I need a thing.
A thing?
Aye, you know, something physical you could touch.
Something I can touch. My suggestion would be prune.
Why not? Now a descriptive word, if you please.
Put down potty.
Oh, that's a corker, that is. Last one, nearly done. I need another thing. Or like a person or animal.
A person or animal? Now, let me see now. Gentleman?
Yes, that's a thing.
Hey! What is it now?
Go, Mount! A prune, you potty! Gentleman!
I must be Potty, I married you! But gentleman! Oh, that's hitting below the belt!
A good solid insult, I thought. But maybe we need to think different.
That was an interesting word game, Mrs. Gabberly.
Want to play again? I need a word, Wallace.
How about cheese? It's one of my favourites.
No, an action word.
Oh, yes, an action word. How about the verb to stew?
Fine, that'll do. Now a thing, if you please.
Right, a thing. My suggestion would be prune.
Why not? Now a descriptive word, if you please.
Mild?
You're good at this. And finally, a person or a thing.
A person or a thing? Gentleman?
Yes, that's a thing.
Hey! What is it now?
Oh, stew! A prune, you mild gentleman!
Hey! You do know how to wound a bloke, Winnie!
Got him that time. Serves him right for being such a grumpy old grandad.
Would you mind, if I, that is, could you see your way fit to lending me that pot of pansies, Mrs. Gabberly, for business purposes?
Business purposes? Well, be my guest. I've got bunches of them.
So, might you be interested in signing up for my honey deliveries, Mrs. Gabberly? Fresh daily.
Oh, I should say so. I'm partial to a spot of honey for my tea.
Waste of money! We'll never see honey for tea, or breakfast for that matter.
Oh, shut up, you. Wallace knows what he's doing. He's got a head for business.
Is that a head? I took it for a parsnip.
Pay him no mind.
Me poor Sniffer 3000. I only just put the finishing touches on it yesterday, and it's already fallen afoul of the law.
Well, if it isn't Wallace. I had a notion he'd be nosing round the police station this morning.
Morning, Constable Dibbins.
You're off to an early start today. Not planning any more visits to the shops, are you?
Oh, no. Yesterday was a one-off. I'm in town on business.
Is that so? Here on business, you say, Wallace? What line are you in these days?
Honey, Constable Dibbins, from B to U, piped fresh to your home or workplace daily. Do you have a sweet tooth, Constable?
Well, I have been known to dollop it on a crumpet now and again.
Then perhaps you'd like to subscribe.
I only procure my honey from reputable sources.
Oh, there's Miss Sniffer 3000, banged up like a common criminal. Oh, breaks my heart. That cheese detector's not a bad machine, just a bit overkeen. It's all the energides in its system. Energides? It seems to me, yes. Energides is one of the ingredients in Rex Armstrong's Quick Grow Muscle formula. I used my last Energide battery to fuel the Sniffer. I'll have to get it back if I want to finish the formula. Fear not, my little cheese-sniffing friend. Soon have you out of there. Oops, missed. That mattress looks awfully hard. Just as well the Sniffer 3000 goes into sleep mode automatically. You can rely on From B to U for your honey needs, Constable. As our motto says, all the sweet and none of the sting.
So long as it's nothing like your Sniffer 3000 cheese detecting device.
Put your mind at ease, Constable. All our bees are bonded and insured.
Not killer bees from abroad, are they?
Certainly not. They're West Wallaby Street born and bred.
That's so much, I suppose.
Mr. Paneer will unveil my honey at tonight's Festival of Crumpets.
Is that so? Well, if Mr. Paneer's prepared to take a chance on you, I suppose I can too.
So, can I sign you up for my honey service, Constable Dibbins?
I'll pop over to Mr. Paneer's and have a taste, if I like it. And there's no undesirable side effects. We'll see.
So, can I sign you?
I'll pop undesirable.
I hope they're not being too rough with Miss Sniffer 3000. I noticed you received my petition for early release of the Sniffer 3000, Constable Dibbins.
Yes, and I notice it's attracted the signatures of just one man and his dog.
We're only appealing for natural justice.
But your blinking cheese detector thingamy, what do you call it, destroyed an entire grocery store.
Teething problems. It's still only a prototype.
A prototype? It's a villain, if you ask me. A diabolical device. You can see that in its face.
My machine isn't evil, Constable Dibbins. It's just got a short fuse and a few loose nuts.
We'll see. I'm going to formally interview this glorified tin can of yours, and if it can convince me that it's not a menace to society, then perhaps I'll release it into your custody. You there,
prisoner. Kindly look at me when I'm talking to you. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
The sniffer doesn't work that way, Constable Dibbins. You've got to...
I'm conducting this interview, Wallace, if you don't mind.
Fear not, my little cheese-sniffing friend. Soon have you out of there. That mattress looks awfully hard. Just as well the Sniffer 3000 goes into sleep mode automatically. Well, no.
If that's his attitude, he can rot in jail as far as I'm concerned. We've had our little chat.
And?
I'm afraid there's no talking to your sniffer. Hardwired for criminality, I'd say.
Must be awfully hot under that helmet, I reckon. A sunny day like today.
It's a trifle sweltering, yes. But danger and discomfort are all in the line of duty for an officer of the law, though most folk don't appreciate it.
Cheesy nibble, Officer Dibbins?
Well, well, well. Wensleydale. Not attempting to bribe an officer, are you, Wallace? For shame. The great British Bobby cannot be bought off with a cheesy nibble.
Not sure how I'd pull that off. How much does a helmet like that weigh?
£8 and 5 ounces. Some days feels more like 80 pounds.
My offer of cheese is made in a spirit of friendship.
And is turned down in the same spirit.
It's a smart-looking helmet.
Aye, but it ruins me hairdo. Flat as a pancake, so you can't do a thing with it.
Oh, can you see fit to grant my appeal, Constable Dibbins?
Not on your Nelly. That heap of nuts and bolts is now but trouble. Couldn't give me a single straight answer when I tried to interrogate it.
It only responds to certain commands. I know, I programmed it. Perhaps you could try a gentler approach?
Well, I'll have another chat with it. More friendly-like.
Oh, yes. Oh, much obliged, Constable Dibbins.
I ain't promising nothing, mind. Time we had a little chat. Look at me when I'm talking to you. 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 That's more like it. Now you've had time to think, what can you tell me about what happened yesterday? Feel bad about what you did, do you? He's weeping. Maybe this contraption's got feelings after all. Now, I want a truthful answer. If I release you from custody, will you do it again? Don't know why I bother. I'm too soft, me. No change, I'm afraid. And its moral compass seems to be badly malfunctioning.
How long do you...
As long as the law requires.
It's not malicious. It just malfunctions from time to time.
Is that so?
And sometimes it short circuits when it gets overheated.
Perhaps it does.
Why don't you try talking to it once more?
All right. Once more. You there, prisoner. Kindly look at me when I'm talking to you. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Cheeky blighter. Why do I listen to you, Wallace? That heap of scrap hasn't changed its ways, and never will.
Constable Dibbins, please will you give the sniffer 3,000...
You're very insistent, Wallace.
Only I've made a few minor adjustments to its remote control. I think you'll find it a reformed character now.
I'll be the judge of that. Time we had a little chat. Look at me when I'm talking. That's what I like to see. Do you regret what you did? Ah, yes, they always crack in the end. Now, I want a truthful answer. If I release you from custody, will you do it again? Well, I'll be darned. The prisoner has been interviewed.
Yes?
And having exhibited signs of repentance, I am prepared to release him into your protective custody, provided, Wallace, you give me an assurance that you'll keep your blinking eye on him. Or it. Or whatever he answers to.
Oh, I'll keep an eye on him, Constable Dibbins. You have my word on that. So, can I sign you up for my honey service?
Undesirable.
Well, did you do as I asked?
Water's all right, but growth formula would be faster.
What are you on about? A pot of purple pansies? And mine haven't bloomed yet.
I realise this may seem a trifle irregular, but Major Crum insisted I show you this. It's...
A snail? In my garden? Have you lost your mind, Wallace?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Felicity is partial to purple plants, I think. Miss Flint, if you'll just take a look at the pansies, I think you'll...
I told you, Mr. Wallace. I refuse to let those yellow hooligans have the satisfaction of... Oh, purple. You see? They're mending their ways. They just needed a firm talking to, that's all. Mother forgives you, you naughty little pansies. Sweet satisfaction, Mr. Wallace.
Yes, indeed. Very sweet. I wonder where Major Crum disappeared to. I wonder where Major Crum disappeared to.
Wallace! Thank heavens you made it to the shelter! I'd given you up for lost. Caught in the crossfire, were you? Stop pacing about, Wallace! You're making the rest of the men nervous. You've got to get your mind off the carnage up there. Would you like to hear one of my old war stories? Might help pass the time.
Well, I hate to...
Of course you would. I brought visual aids. I can still see it perfectly.
What a face!
That's me kitted out for heavy combat. That helmet took many a dent before the war was through. Without it, I could have become seriously loopy.
Take my advice, Wallace. Never go into battle without a regulation helmet like the one in this picture.
3 weeks later...
Who's that fellow?
That's me as a young recruit, off to basic training. How I cried when they cut off my golden curls. But I cheered up as soon as they issued me with a beautiful set of dog tags. Dashed useful dog tags if you happen to forget your rank or name. You've got it right there. Never go into battle without your dog tags, Wallace. As I say, I was marching along.
Now, there's a sight.
That's me posing with Mother next to my 40mm Bofors. Look at the size of that monster. Big Betty, we called her. The gun, not my mother.
Sounds like you were quite a soldier, Major Crumb.
Well, Wallace, why the past tense?
Oh dear.
Once a soldier, always a soldier. Something you civilians will never grasp. And I'd be happy to prove it by charging into the fray.
That is, if I were recommissioned and had a proper helmet with a cute little brim, and if I could find someone to take charge of this shelter and distribute the protein bars.
Gromit could do the job.
Private Gromit? Can I entrust my precious cache of protein bars to a Pongo? Perhaps so. He's proven himself a trusty foot soldier. Yes. If I am called away to the front, I'd feel comfortable leaving Private Gromit in charge. But I haven't been recommissioned.
Great news, Gromit. I found those dog tags you misplaced. Now you can walk around looking official. It isn't like Gromit to be so absent-minded. I found these in the hall, Major Crumb.
Dog tags! I've been recommissioned! Bound to happen, of course. Can't leave good military material sitting on the shelf. My place is in the trenches.
Yes, that's all very well, I suppose, but I'd need a good sturdy helmet with a cute little brim like the one I had in the war.
Pardon me, Major. About those protein bars of yours.
Rations, Wallace. Emergency rations for... emergencies, obviously. Been stockpiling them since the war. Enough nutrition in them to feed a man under fire for a whole day.
And very tasty they look, too.
Tasty? They're
I'd love to...
out of proteins, Wallace. By George, this is an emergency. Private Gromit! I hereby issue you one protein bar. Guard it well, and see that it lasts you all day. Wallace, here's one for you as well.
Much obliged.
Wait! Careful, Wallace. You're heading into hostile territory. The enemy has clearly landed and most likely set up camp in West Wallaby Street. Who knows what the Blighters have done to our once peaceful neighborhood? If you make it back alive, you'll have to give us a full report. In the meantime, eat your protein rations. The protein will keep your strength up, especially if you're captured. Brave lad! We'll keep the home fires burning.
I'd better double-check the recipe. Yes, that's the lot. Protein, Energides and Strongium. Everything I need to whip up a tip-top growth formula. Hey, hey! The auto-flip frying pan. That was my birthday present for Gromit last year. Running a bit low on Wensleydale. No more bread. It's a comfort to know we're well stocked with biscuits. The Mixomatic'll be perfect for whipping up a tasty growth formula. Silicon flowers. Can't feed those to my bees. They demand the organic variety. Me porridge gun. Could prove fatal if it fell into inexperienced hands. Oops. That was a grand fishing trip, Gromit, until that giant squid turned up. The well's run dry. I might find the answer to my problems here, but searching through these books would take me all day. Time for a nap. Oh, no, better not. This call box has been a boon for Gromit. No matter where he is in the house, he's never far from his master's voice. Not a good idea, that. The living room door's stuck. Oh, right. It's a storage room now.
You see, Private Gromit, I told you he'd make it back to us alive. Our Wallace is a fighter. Bagged a few of those blighters, did you? Any news from above? Gad, how I wish I were back in the fight! It's a long way to Tipperary, Wallace.
So they say. Ah, there's the hatch from me rocket ship. Remember that moon holiday, Gromit? My workers are very devoted to their queen. This is my latest invention.
Have you brought it, Mr. Wallace?
Your Don't forget, Mr. Wallace, 50 gallons by sunset.
Hey up, Wallace, love. How's business?
So, can I sign you up for my hunt? It does gleam in the sun, your helmet.
Don't it just? I give it a right good clean this morning.
Nothing I need. If you'd like to sample my honey, Mrs. Gabberly, there'll be a free tasting tonight at Mr. Panier's Tea and Crumpet Festival.
Oh, is that so? Well, I'll have to pop by.
I wouldn't bother. He'll never make the delivery.
What's the situation above? Fire and desolation as far as the eye can see? My God, I wish I could be up there.
I need flowers for my machine, Major.
Not one of those wretched hippies, are you, Wallace?
Be safe. Gromit, old chum. Slip me that Grotine bar Major Crumb gave you.
You'll do no such thing, Private Gromit. I gave you your Grotine bar for the day, Wallace. I won't have you catching another from the enlisted men. Any news from above? Gad, how I wish I were back in the fight! The unfairness of it all, Wallace. A born fighter like me, stuck in this shelter while battles are raging overhead.
You can go if you like, Major. Private Gromit can oversee this shelter and dispense the rations.
Yes, that's all very well, I suppose, but I'd need a good sturdy helmet with a cute little brim like the one I had in the war.
I'd be happy to take charge of the Grotine bars.
You? No offense, Wallace-held chap, but you're hardly officer material. The mighty warrior returns! Any news from above? Gad, how I wish I were back in the fight!
Wouldn't be prudent. I'd really rather not. Bon appetit. Oh! Not exactly a flood, is it? No.
Meneer's produce?
Hello, Mr. Pannier.
Wallace? How's that honey order coming along?
Oh, smashing, just smashing. It's a honey of an order, all right. What was the quantity again?
50 gallons.
50 gallons. 50 teaspoons would be easier.
You won't let me down, will you? I don't want my respected festival of crumpets turning into a mad crumpet rumpus.
Oh, no, Mr. Pannier. Certainly not. Goodbye.
Hello, Wallace. Paneer here. It's ready. I hope as sweet as you choose.
Hello, love. It's Winnie from the newsstand. Just to say, the new issue of Modern Knittings in, and I've put Gromit's copy to one side. Looks like a perler. You can come and pick it up any time.
Hello, Wallace. Paneer here again. Just checking on that honey order. Almost ready, I hope. This year's Festival of Crumpets could be the best yet if your honey's as sweet as you say. So sorry I had to ban you and your inventions from the actual premises.
The auto flip. Closed up shop for the day, have you? I wonder what happened to his little cricket bat.
Ah, Mr. Wallace.
You're standing in a puddle, Mr. Pannier.
My shoes aren't waterproof. Don't forget, Mr. Wallace, 50 gallons by sunset.
Justice always triumphs in the end.
Have you brought it? Have you brought it, Mr. Wallace? Don't forget, Mr. Wallace, 50 gallons by sunset. The sky is blue, and still it rains on yours truly.
The mighty warrior returns!
My workers are very devoted to their queen.
Any news from above? Gad, how I wish I were back in the fight!
I thought you might find this useful, Major Crumb.
A helmet! By George, Wallace, there's nothing like a good helmet. Makes a fellow want to put himself in the path of projectiles. If you know what I mean. Good heavens! I shouldn't be skulking around in a cellar like a frightened rat. I'm a soldier, by thunder! Private Gromit, I hereby appoint you officer commanding this air raid shelter. Here, you pass out the rations. I've got a war to win. Charge!
Now to get my hands on a protein bar. Gromit! Request dispensation of protein bars, soldier. Plans are proceeding apace, Gromit. Just a few kinks to work out, and we'll soon be up to our necks in honey. Carry on. One unit of energite fluid for a creamy finish. One dose of strontium into the mix. One generous chunk of protein to give it texture. Now to mix up my very own quick grow muscle formula. That ought to do it. No, the mixomatic's all mixed up. Stop! Stop! Help! Gromit! Oh, thanks, lad.
Checking to see if anything's sprouted yet, Mr. Wallace.
Well, as a matter of fact, Miss Flit,
Really? I don't see what you're hoping to... Oh! I don't believe
it
it!
works! It works! The homemade quick grow miracle muscle formula works! We're in business, lad. You see, Gromit, look where a bit of enterprise can get you. If I hadn't found that flyer you chucked in the bin, I'd never have been able to concoct my Miracle Grow formula. And then where would we be? You really must be careful what you chuck out, you know. Blinking Nora!
Oh, my word! I think I'm going to faint.
This ought to be plenty of fuel for the old pollinator.
That's champion, that is.
50 gallons of honey, and just in time for my annual tea and crumpet festival. Pleasure doing business with you, Wallace.
Always aim to please, our bees. That's the last of our bills, Gromit, and we've got just about enough left over for that little holiday we've been planning. This year, I fancy Blackpool. Oh, yes, lad. I think our money troubles are over at last.
Air raid! Air raid! Petrol
Oh, dear.
stations everywhere!
Not this again.
Excellent vantage point. Prepare for a crash landing, you devils! Sorry, Wallace, but I'm going to have to commandeer your dining room.
Now, just a minute, Major Crumb.
No time to argue, old man. The whole town's under bombardment. But here they come!
What's in it, Gromit? Giant bees!
Heaven help the good citizens of West Wallaby Street! Civilians out!
But
That's an order, Wallace. Private Gromit, kindly escort this civilian from the battle zone.